Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good day, everyone. Welcome to the National Science and Mathematics Olympiad, a place where your potential meets real scientific exploration. This program is not only learning science, it's learning how scientists think, investigate, and make decisions. In this first phase, we build a strong foundation in biology that will prepare you for advanced Olympiad stages. Biology is the study of life, its survival, adaptation, diversity, and the intelligence woven into nature. Today, we continue our journey in ecology chapter, which explains how organisms interact with their environment. We will view nature as a connected network where every part, no matter how small, influences the whole. In this chapter, we explored relationships among organisms, energy flow, matter cycling, and today we focus on biodiversity, animal behavior, what threatens it, and how conserve it, and that we take it inshallah today. In lecture 4, we will understand the importance of biodiversity, the factors that threaten it, and ways to protect and restore it. We also compare innate and learned behaviors and how they contribute to survival. So stay tuned. We are going to address importance of biodiversity, factors that threaten biodiversity, conserving biodiversity, innate behavior and learned behavior, environmental behaviors. Let me ask you a question. Why biodiversity is so important? Because biodiversity is essential that keeps ecosystem balanced and stable. Okay? Also, if we are looking in the other side, the diversity improves the quality of biosphere where all life exists. Okay. Also, biodiversity has direct benefits such as food, medicine, clothing, and shelter. It also provides indirect services like producing oxygen, removing carbon dioxide, and enriching soil. In summary, biodiversity is not just variety, it's the invisible system that keeps our planet alive. Okay, so think about this question. If one part of this system disappears, how can it disrupt the rest of the chain and eventually affect humans? Think about it. Okay, the factors that threaten biodiversity. Let's talk first about overexploitation. So, it means using natural resources faster than they can be renewed. That's overexploitation. Second one, moving to habitat loss. Habitat loss happens when natural environments are destroyed to build cities or farms. Okay, let's move on with other one. Fragmentation of habitat. It's mean dividing large habitat into small, isolate patches. And most common threat on diversity is pollution. So pollution harms living organisms by containing air, water, and soil. Let's have a check here. We have also biological magnification. It's mean toxins increase in concentration as they move up the food chain. Okay, and also we have something really that happens because of factors. Acid precipitation, it's acid rain, damages forest, soils, and aquatic ecosystem. Okay, and we have eutrophication. It's mean It happens when excess nutrients cause algae growth and kills aquatic life. So more of nutrients here. Okay, let's move on to number 8. Introduced species. It's like to invade new environments and compete with native species. Okay, that's the last one. So all these factors here lead to the same dangerous result, losing biodiversity and ecosystem balance. So think about it. If humans are the main cause of biodiversity loss, can humans also be the solution? As we notice at the first picture on the left here, this picture shows fish kills due pollution, where water can no longer support life. Other picture here, it's biomagnification, because toxins increase up the food chain, and because of that, algae will be so growth up here. Move on to the third picture. It's deforestation, when they cut forests so much, so it's destroying thousands of habitat at once. So all these examples is one of threatens biodiversity, and it's really matter. All things matter. After understanding the threats to biodiversity, now we move to the most important part. How do we conserve it? So by protecting biodiversity. So in protecting biodiversity means reducing consumption and recycling materials and conserving natural ecosystems. And these small actions are the first line of defense to prevent further species loss. And also we have restoring ecosystem. So that mean is when ecosystem is damaged, we don't only prevent further harm, but it's sometimes we must rebuild it. And there is two ways to do so. The first one is bioremediation. It's when you are using living organisms such as bacteria, fungi, or plants to remove toxic substance from polluted area. Okay, moving to the second one is biological augmentation. It's mean we introducing natural predators to restore ecosystems balance. And let me give you an example for that one. So introducing ladybugs to control aphids instead of using pesticides. Okay, so in the previous slide, we discussed the threats that destroy biodiversity. Now we learn the scientific tools used to solve them. So let me ask you also this question. If humans can destroy ecosystems through pollution and overuse, can control scientific interventions fully restore them to their original state, or will there always be something lost? Think about it. In the previous slide, we learned that importance of conserving biodiversity. And now we explore an important aspect of living organisms. It's how and why they behave differently. Okay, let's move on. And we have first innate behavior. So what's innate behavior? It's a behavior an organism is born with, and depends entirely on inheritance without learning. Innate behaviors are immediate, repeated, and constant among members of the same species. For example, a sea turtle moves toward the ocean right after hatching. The other behavior we have, learned behavior. So learned behavior is that develops through previous experience and learning. And its learned behaviors depends on the environment and allow better adaptation. For example, chimpanzees use tools for foraging. And let's have a link between innate and learning behavior. So innate behavior provides instant protection, while learning behavior offers flexibility and adaptation to change. And also, let me ask you this question. If animals relied only on innate behavior and never learned from experience, how would that affect their survival in rapidly changing world? What do you think? Now that we understand behavior is innate or learned, we move to see how animals show important survival behaviors. These are called ecological behavior. And we have three types as you see in tables. Let's start with competitive behavior. So, in competitive behavior, it's a behavior where organisms compete for food, territory, or a mate. It may appear as fighting, dominance hierarchy, or making territories. And example, male deer fighting for mating a female to do reproduction. And let's move to the other behavior, foraging behavior. It's the behavior that enables an organism to search for food and overcome obstacles. So it's like elephants traveling long distance to find water. Okay, let's talk now about the other ecological behavior. Migratory behavior. It's the movement of animals from one place to another in search or of survival opportunities. Okay, so the migration of salmon to breeding areas. And okay, let's keep it together. Innate behavior appears in migration, while learned behavior appears in smart foraging, and both support survival in ecosystem. Okay, and also let me ask you this question: how might climate change affect migratory behavior and competitive behavior among wildlife? Think about it. Now it's time to test what we have learned. Okay, look to this question. This question evaluates what we learned about biodiversity protection and international agreement. The question asks, which of the following action would violate the CITES? Okay, so let's see the options. Cutting down rainforest, polluting lakes, selling elephant tusks, hunting mountain goats. Let's analyze the options. Let's start with A, cutting down rainforest. So this is harmful to biodiversity, but not directly related to CITES. So this would be wrong. Let's move to polluting lakes. This is really a serious environmental issue, but also it's unrelated to CITES regulation. So this also wrong. Selling elephant tusks. Okay. CITES specifically regulates the trade of endangered species and their products such as ivory. So yes, this is the right answer here. What about hunting mountain goat? It's may be regulated locally, but not necessarily under CITES rules. Okay, so the right answer will be selling elephant tusks. Because CITES protects endangered species and prevent their commercial traits. This question will be evaluate our understanding of innate and learned behavior. And the question asks, which of the following is an example of innate behavior? Is it chirping of chicks after hatching, or birds learning to catch fish, or small child pronounce a few words, or ducks walking together to pound to feed? Okay, let's analyze. First one, chirping of chicks after hatching. Why this one is the right thing? Why? Why this is true? Think about it. Think. Because this behavior happens naturally without learning. It's instinctive, okay? What about bears learning to catch fish? This is a learned behavior. So bears observe and practice. So that would be wrong. Okay, let's move with small child pronounce a few words. So speaking requires learning and imitation. So it's not instinct. So that one also wrong because we are looking for innate. What about ducks walking together to the pond to feed? This may involve following the group, but not purely innate for feeding direction. So that would be also wrong. So the right answer is chirping of chicks after hatching. That's the right answer. Because innate behavior is inherent and appears without learning. Don't forget that. Let's move on to this question. And this question evaluates what we learned earlier about protecting the environment. Okay? And the question says, on World Environment Day, attention is drawn to earth-friendly practices. Among these practices, a shopper is strongly advised to bring his clothes back to carry his purchase. What is the name of this practice? Okay, let's illustrate the options that we have it here. Reducing waste. So it's using cloth bag prevents blasting waste and reduce garbage. So close meaning, but not that specific term. So that would be wrong. Decreases consumption. What do you think? It's means buying less or using less, but not the target of the question. So this is wrong. Reuse. Why this is the correct answer? Because bringing the same bag again is an example for reusing items. So that's the right answer. What about trash disposal? Okay, this what we do after waste is produced, but not the correct concept. So also we have also best use, and best use is is wrong because it's a general term but not environment practice. So this also wrong. Okay, so the right answer will be reuse. Okay, so because the goal is using an item again instead of throwing it. Okay, this is a question that we will face now. It measures your understand of carrying capacity and where the fastest population growth occurs for sustainability. Okay, so let's analyze the figure here. Okay, a very low numbers growth is slow due to fewer breeding individuals. At around 500 here, at around 500 fish, growth is fastest due to sufficient breeding individuals and resources. And when we reach to a 1,000 here, like this here, near the maximum capacity, growth slow because of competition of resources. Okay, now let's illustrate the options to 100 or 500 or 750. So 100 is still low, so this one still low. Okay, and what about 500? This one is this number is corresponds to the highest growth rate. So this is highest growth rate. Okay, 750 or 1000, it's near carrying capacity. Growth is slow down. Here is slow down. Okay, so now we have the picture. So the best number that we have, it's like means the best growth rate is on 500. So this is the right one here, 500. Okay. Today we learned about the importance of biodiversity, the factors threaten it, and how they conserve it. And we also explore the differences between innate and learning behaviors and ecological behaviors. Remember this, knowledge is power, and understanding the environment is the first step to protecting it. Thank you for your participation. See you soon. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.